Welcome to today's headline. US top official drops bombshell about Nigeria, exposes shocking truth over state governors, move for state police. To my dearest listeners, good morning from wherever you're listening from. And before I go into details, kindly please ensure you like, subscribe, and share. Tibor Nagy, a former US Assistant Secretary of State for Africa, has raised concerns over the Nigerian government's proposal to create state police forces as the solution to the country's growing security challenges. In a recent tweet, Nagy questioned the potential effectiveness of the state police force, suggesting that they may be misused for political purposes rather than genuinely addressing the nation's security issues. In his tweet, Nagy remarked, "So, a majority of Nigerian governors want to create a police forces to address the huge security problems Nigerian faces everywhere. How many think such a force would actually help stop crimes as opposed to being used against politicians' opponents?" The tweet has sparked a significant conversation about the plan for state policing in Nigeria, with many drawing attention to the challenges of corruption and political interference in the country's security apparatus. Critics argue that the creation of state police forces could increase the risk of abuse of power, particularly in a nation already struggling with political instability and widespread corruption. Nagy's comment comes at a time when a majority of Nigeria's 36 state governors have expressed support for the establishment of state police forces, citing the country's escalating security challenges as the primary reason behind the push. The governors argue that state police would allow for more localized and effective responses to crime, especially as Nigeria grapples with the rising incidents of banditry, insurgency, and other forms of violent crime. The idea of state police has been under discussion for years, but recent developments have brought the issue to the forefront. During a National Economic Council NEC meeting held on Thursday, Governor Uba Sani of Kaduna revealed that the majority of state governors had agreed to the creation of state police forces. The meeting, which was presided over by Vice President Kashim Shettima, brought together key state and federal officials to discuss the proposal. This development signals a shift in the Nigerian government's approach to policing, as security concerns have reached unprecedented levels across the country. State governors argue that the current federal police force is overstretched and ill equipped to handle the country's diverse security challenges. They believe that local policing would allow for better coordination and responsiveness to the unique security needs for each state. However, despite the growing support for state police, critics remain wary of the potential consequences of such a move. They argue that state police would become tools for political repression, with governors using them to target opposition figures or suppress dissent. The fear of politically motivated abuse of state police forces is particularly pronounced in a country where security forces have historically been accused of human rights violations and partisan actions. The concerns expressed by Nagil and other critics highlight the deep divisions in Nigeria regarding how to best address the country's security problems. While some argue that state police forces could provide a much needed solution to the crisis, others fear that such a move could exacerbate existing problems and lead to further instability. The controversy surrounding the proposal for state police comes amid a backdrop of ongoing insecurity in Nigeria. The country has been grappling with various forms of violence, including Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast, banditry in the northwest, and ethnic clashes in other regions. The inability of the federal government to effectively address these issues has led many state governors to advocate for more control over security matters within their territories. In response to Nagi's criticisms, Elias Gerasonilis, a U.S. lobbyist and vocal supporter of the Biafra movement, voiced his approval of the former diplomat's stance. Gerasolis, who has been a strong advocate for the rights of the Biafran people and a supporter of Simon Ekpa, a key figure in the secessionist movement, tweeted in praise of Nagi's comment stating, Ambassador Tibonagi continues to call out Nigeria. Gerosoli's endorsement of Nagi's tweet underscores the international attention the issue of state police in Nigeria is receiving. It also highlights the ongoing debate over how best to address the country's complex. Now we've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by the comment section and let us know what your view is all about. Thank you for listening.